Hi, my name is Cottrill. I'm an undergraduate researcher at WVU.
And I'm Cameron Rose, also an undergraduate researcher.
And today we're going to be talking to you about using reflective tape to measure treadmill speed and detect perturbations with infrared motion capture cameras. To begin with and give some background, when a disturbance to locomotion occurs, it has to first be perceived by the body before an appropriate action can take place to prevent the fall. One of the major components of this is proprioception, or a sense of joint position, which consists of muscle spindles sensing changes in muscle length and velocity, and Golgi tendon organs sensing changes in musculotendon force. The muscle and tendon act similar to a spring series, as shown in the figure to the right, and tendon stiffness is thought to decrease with age. So when a change in length occurs after the tendon has become less stiff, the tendon will actually take on more length change than the muscle will, potentially causing inadequate muscle length feedback, meaning that a delay in response or overcorrection or undercorrection may occur. The main goal of this project was to find how changes in tendon stiffness with aging affect the ability to perceive and respond to locomotor disturbances. And what we wanted to do was implement a few methods that will end up measuring musculotendon deviation or changes in length during normal and perturbed locomotion while walking on a treadmill, and determine correctly treadmill speed and perturbation times.
To the right, you can see our flow chart about how our research progressed. On the left, you have speed and perturbation detection. On the right, you have ultrasound imaging. And this is showing the process that we've already taken to achieve this data, and then what we plan to do in the future, ending with us being able to combine the ultrasound and treadmill systems to evaluate musculotendon length changes during perturbations.
So for the methods of detecting treadmill speeds and perturbations, we first had a participant walk on the treadmill while perturbations occurred at varying speeds and in both the positive and negative direction, as shown in the figure for experimental protocol. And one solution we had was small squares of reflective tape being placed equidistant apart on the outside edges of the treadmill belts, which is shown in the far right figure. This is mostly because we have a Vicon motion capture system that tracked the position of the reflective tape, identifying them as markers. Once we had this, we imported it into MATLAB and wrote a code that calculated the speed of each treadmill belt that can be used to identify and confirm the perturbed belt speeds, which is shown in the two figures below, one being a small and one being a large perturbation, and both in the opposite direction. This ended up being a success as we were able to measure treadmill speed and identify perturbations as small as 0.02 meters per second. And once we had this, we used ground reaction forces in Vicon to identify gate events, which ended up leading to identifying the times of the perturbations.
So the second part of our project is ultrasound imaging of the Achilles tendon musculotendon junction. And to do this, we attach an ultrasound probe to the backside of the right leg where the medial gastrocnemius meets the Achilles tendon. As shown in the figure to the right, you can see the MTJ, which is the musculotendon junction, which we're measuring with that blue dot, and where it's placed on the leg. And so perturbations that Hunter mentioned before are sent to the treadmill that trigger the start of the ultrasound software to start recording, and then that video is saved after each perturbation. And then the videos are passed through a pre-trained machine learning algorithm to track the musculotendon junction. And this resulted in us able to capture deviations in the musculotendon junction pixel position in our ultrasound images during both normal and perturbed walking, as shown in the figures below. As you can see, the rhythm of the steps is broken by the perturbed step, which means we're able to identify which step is perturbed. And in the future, we're planning on adding a component to the ultrasound probe that can be used in conjunction with Vicon to determine the position of the musculotendon junction with respect to the global position system in order to calculate the musculotendon length. That is the end of our presentation. If you have any questions, feel free to place them in the comments below. And we will also be putting a video of how we track the musculotendon junction in the description.